The system I've used to build this aquascape works like magic. It has not only enabled the best plant growth I have ever had, but also requires close to no effort to achieve it. Now, this might sound impossible. How could something be so effective yet so effortless? But what if I told you that it isn't exclusive magic, and in fact it's something every aquascaper can achieve with the right approach? So guys, in today's video I'm going to reveal what system has allowed me to achieve the amazing plant growth, detail the maintenance routine that looks almost too simple to be true, and share how little time it actually takes to keep this underwater paradise healthy and thriving. But before I dive into that, let's take a moment to appreciate the newest addition in the aquarium, a rare new plant and its unique origin. A few weeks ago, I traveled to a pet show for the first time in years, and it was a blast. Meeting like-minded people and being surrounded by beautiful aquascapes is probably the best you can do if you enjoy this hobby. It is in gatherings like these that you find inspiration, joy, and occasionally something truly special to bring home. Now, when I attend these events, my usual souvenir is some sort of hardscape. After all, one can never have too much hardscape. A pro tip for you: if your eyes land on some nice rocks or a piece of driftwood that speaks to you, do not hesitate, purchase it. This way, you're gradually building a quality hardscape collection, and when the time comes to start a new tank, you'll have a perfect selection at your fingertips, ready to create your next masterpiece. This time, however, it wasn't hardscape that caught my eye. It was a new and rare plant that got my full attention, the Nymphea gardneriana to be exact. It is a small-leaved water lily from South America, and what makes it so special is the way it reproduces. This water lily reproduces by stolons and stays super low in high light. And guess who I had the honor of acquiring it from? Well, none other than Crystal Castleman herself, an authority in the aquascaping world. Crystal Castleman is an absolute plant expert, and even big companies like Tropica or Danele are using her books as a reference. Having a plant from her private collection feels like acquiring a piece from an aquascaping celebrity. Now let's circle back to the revolutionary system that has allowed me to achieve this fantastic plant growth. When starting a new aquascape, there is always the risk of running into things like melting plants, algae outbreaks, and getting overwhelmed doing massive water changes. So, when setting up this aquascape, I decided to go a different way. Instead of planting the aquarium and filling up with water right away, I decided to give myself an advantage by flooding the tank without plants and cycling it first, but without light. 2 weeks later, I drained the water and planted the aquarium. At this stage, the substrate and the water parameters have stabilized, and the filter was full of beneficial bacteria. Waiting at least 2 weeks before adding plants has allowed me to kickstart the aquascape with no melting plants, but explosive plant growth and little to no algae. This way of setting up an aquarium is called the Dark Start method. Now, 2 months later, this aquascape is looking absolutely amazing. The plants are pearling like crazy and have exploded in growth. But before we go to the maintenance details, let me briefly show you which fish I have added to the aquascape and why. After the last video, I received lots of suggestions, and I will admit I got overwhelmed. I simply couldn't make a choice myself, and for this reason I started a poll on my community wall. While this hasn't provided a clear winner, I reached out to some of my close friends and asked for advice. Most suggested the same fish I already had on my list. But Juan Pujares suggested something no one else did before. He suggested Hemigrammus rottwei, commonly known as the gold tetra, a small, shimmering fish whose peaceful nature makes it an ideal addition to an planted aquascape. I think it fits perfect into the layout and stands out against plants and hardscape. Believe it or not, but the last time I maintained this aquarium was 2 weeks ago. You might be wondering, how is it even possible, and is there a secret sauce that allows me to do it? To answer this, I will show you the entire maintenance process and the products I believe are essential to it. I will start with turning off the filter and removing the pipes. To save time and give them a deep clean, I will simply soak all acrylic components in hot water with a little bit of bleach. Now let's move on with cleaning the glass. I use an old toothbrush to clean the rim of the aquarium as well as the corners. A razor blade glass scraper is my tool of choice to remove algae and biofilm from the glass. At this point, I would trim the plants, but to keep this video short, I will leave this for another day. Let me know in the comments below if you would like to see how I trim the plants. Now, all cleaning inside the tank is done and it's time to remove 50% of the water. To refill the aquarium, I'm using reverse osmosis water that comes straight from the RO filter. The Arca MyAqua 1900 is producing 1.3 liters per minute, which is super fast and will take less than 30 minutes to refill the aquarium. While the water is running, let's check out the pipes. After 10 minutes soaking in hot water and bleach, simply rinse them with clean water. Maybe go once with a spring brush and they are done. Always rinse well to remove bleach before reintroducing into the aquarium. To be on the safer side, I'm using a dechlorinator. Now let's repeat the spring brush action on the transparent filter hoses and install everything back in place. Since RO water has no minerals in it, we have to restore them. In addition, I like to dose half of the daily fertilizer, ensuring the plants have everything they need. And while I'm waiting for the water to fill up, I have a surprise for you guys. In a previous video about installing RO system, I initially said I will pick a winner when the video gets 20,000 views, but I just don't want to wait any longer and decided to pick a winner right now. So the winner of the Arca MyAqua 1900 is Algae Aquascaping. Congratulations, you have won the RO giveaway. Please get in touch with me via DM on Instagram or email at the About page of this channel. Now with the water filled up, there is only one final step remaining. Remember I told you last time I did maintenance was 2 weeks ago? I believe this is possible due to an excellent biological balance, and to achieve it I'm using bacteria products from Microbe Lift. Night Out 2 was used in the beginning to speed up the nitrogen cycle. Special Blend is what I would call the magic sauce, as it contains so many different types of filter bacteria like no other product. It even has bacteria that will break down yellow substances and make the water clearer, as if it was filtered with active carbon. Besides this, Special Blend also ensures the plants can better utilize fertilizer, and it can also be used as a treatment against cyanobacteria. Finally, Terra P will stimulate the immune system of the fish with probiotic strains. It has anti-stress herbal ingredients and selected bacteria that can reduce pathogenic germs. And there is so much more I could tell you, so if you want to see a deep dive into this topic, please let me know in the comments below. And to summarize my maintenance routine, I've been doing 50% water changes every 1 to 2 weeks, followed by restoring the minerals and adding beneficial bacteria. I have kept the lights on the same schedule from the beginning and have been dosing the recommended amount of liquid fertilizer more or less on daily basis. You see, it can be really that simple when you set up your aquascape the right way. But the thing is, everything I just told you about the system I have used to start this aquascape and how maintenance works requires one important principle I did when laying out the foundation for this aquarium. And if you don't follow it, it can easily destroy your aquascape. So watch this video next to make sure you do this one thing right, as you won't be able to fix it afterwards.